how entrepreneurs think and make decisions. It is critical as you are a beginning entrepreneur, or even as an advanced entrepreneur on a big growth trajectory, or you're an entrepreneur, you've lived through this pandemic and you've had a roller coaster ride. How you think, how you make decisions, how you're mentored and guided is everything. Stay tuned to hear what I have to say about that. So 4 things specifically I'm going to talk about. Number 1, why be an entrepreneur? Why do you need a business plan? The components of a business plan, and then the dangers of the internet. I'm just going to put it out there. You can already know where I'm going to go with that answer, but I'm going to be very specific at the end of this video about what the internet will direct you to, illegal things actually. Let's begin. We have a lot to talk about. Why be an entrepreneur? Right, that's the first thing, because you don't even need a business plan if you're not an entrepreneur. And I'm not talking about side hustle people, right? I have a whole conversation. You go to my search bar up above and search in side hustles and how to make some extra money. So that's like $500 to like $1,000 extra a month. And I'm just gonna do a quick breakdown, because every family in the world could do this, right? $1,000 divided by 4 weeks is only $250 a week. Divide by 5 days if that's all you're going to be after it. That's $50 a day. Divide by 7 days, it's way less than that. All of you listening have the capacity to do that, whether that's some side hustle thing. That's not the kind of entrepreneur I'm talking about. I'm talking about a 6, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneur. You got to have a business plan. So think of your business plan like a map, right? Knowing where you are, you got to get from point A to point B. You got to have a guide, and it can't just be emotional what you wake up and think about during the day. You got to have a plan. I'll go through those components in a moment. But I want to really reinforce why be an entrepreneur. I teach the most significant 1-slide chart, employee life and corporate life. And I don't think anyone's ever described it as clear. See, if all you have is employment money, right? And you're actually my favorite client right now, right? Any of you that are making $60, $70, $80, $100,000, you're my favorite client because you can afford to live corporate life, because you're also getting overtaxed, because you're going to make money, you're going to get taxed to pieces. And by the way, if you make $80,000 or more, you're already in the top 25%. But if employee income is the only kind of money you make, you don't have any legal right to do deductions, to write off your phone, to write off your home office, write off your car, write off any of your supplies. So you need to get incorporated. An LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, limited partnership, or trust. If you're listening to this from around the world, the principles are the same. The name of the company is different. It's like a limited proprietary, a proprietary limited, partnership, corporation, things like that. In principle, it's the same. So if you want a legal right to live 81,000 pages of tax code, or in Canada, it's 3,400 pages of tax code, similar to in Australia and the UK, then you got to roll. So I want you to live both lives. I have a new client. She's a pharmaceutical sales rep, and he's a firefighter. He's got plenty of extra time. He only works 10 days a month. I have a lot of firefighters and a lot of service, I'd say people that need, like our communities need those employees. We need cops. We need all of those things. We need military. I have a ton of military. That's an employed job. Starting to get some professional athletes. That's an employed job. The only way to counter the amount of tax you are going to pay, right? Scott, my partner, calls it the silent partner, the IRS, or your tax revenue service, is you have to be incorporated. That gives you the legal right to earn money, get deductions, and do all sorts of business trips versus vacations. I can go on and on. Be an entrepreneur. So I want you a serious entrepreneur, a 6-figure entrepreneur. So now let's go into a business plan. Why do you need one? It's going to again lay out the map. And if you're going to raise capital, you need a business plan. I'm going to tell you some mistakes straight off the bat. Most of the entrepreneurs that I see, like even the ones that apply for Shark Tank, it takes them usually 4 to 6 months to prepare to even be on the show. Why? A lot of them didn't have a sophisticated enough business plan, a revenue model inside the plan, a sales projection plan, a marketing plan, like all these components. So a lot of times that gets kicked back to me and we help you get organized. I've helped people go from hardly any coupled together business plan to be able to sell products in Sam's Clubs, Costco, huge distribution channels across the world. But a plan, it's going to be the first thing that you have to submit. I'm helping someone do a multi-million-dollar huge development, Connex storage units, right? He's going for $8 million. You don't think that was an enormous business plan that he had to put together to show the bank? So the biggest mistake in saying all that is too many beginning entrepreneurs rely on accountants and lawyers to do all their bidding. They do all their work. Now, I'm okay with that. Like my accountants and my lawyers are business accountants and business lawyers, which means they are in this game. They don't just do their trade. They actually are buying and selling real estate. They're buying and selling companies. They're involved in businesses. If they don't have that experience, why would you let them do one of these? Just because they have a license? That doesn't mean they know how to do a business plan for capital, a business plan for growth, a business plan to actually sell your company. You think all these apps that sell for 7-8 figures are just casual business plans. They're sophisticated business plans. And there's people who specialize. So you can either do an accountant, a lawyer. You're going to need them on the team. I'm just saying the quality of those people are critical to you. And just to hire somebody randomly off the internet because they can do a business plan and they're not deep into your industry. See, that's where I get industry specific, is when you have a plan that you either want to sell your company or raise capital. Now, what are the components of the plan? Well, number one, what's your vision and mission? What's the problem you're solving? You've got to solve a problem to be a big player. So I'm just going to go through the business plan that I wrote in 2002. It still is used all over the world by businesses, and here's the exact components. Number one, vision and mission, absolutely critical. And I followed the work of Built to Last and Jim Collins, who writes the most amazing work. Right after that, what are the strategies and tactics that are going to get you there? So the strategies are the bigger container, and the tactics, all the little details that it's going to take to get that strategy done. What's your revenue models? What's your projections? What's the cost structure going to be? Then you got to go to the big stuff. Where's your market, right? What's your marketing plan? What is your sales plan or distribution plan? Similar conversations. What's the company structure, right? So if you're going to raise capital, you're going to sell, is it one LLC? What I see usually in those kind of models, you have one LLC, which is the direct operating company. You have another operating agreement, another operating company, and then you have a management company that holds the intellectual property. So what is that corporate structure? It drives me crazy when I'm on, and I'm going to say Clubhouse because that's where I hear it the most. Sometimes on LinkedIn. LinkedIn tends to be a little more sophisticated. But I don't know how many times people say, oh, I'm raising money. And I'll say, well, where's your business plan? Or what's the corporate structure? Cap table, all those conversations. And who's your management team? And they're like, my lawyers and accountants are handling it. And I say, so you can't even in just common language explain it? I would run. I'd put your running shoes on and I'd be gone. The core entrepreneur better know the structure. They better know how the capital is raised. They need to know how this whole project is going to work from top to end. It's critical you know it. You don't have to do it. You have to lead it. So then the next component, which I think is really one of the most critical ones, is the team. One of my greatest mentors, right, that came off of the Rich Dad Poor Dad team, he said to me one day, he said, Loral, if you want to really be wealthy, money will follow management. So surround yourself with the best team you ever can surround yourself with. Money will follow the management team because they've been there and done it. They've taken exits. They've done things that you don't know how to do. So it doesn't mean that just because you're the beginner entrepreneur, I mean, if anything, if you're the beginning entrepreneur, I would surround yourself with a way more advanced team, which means you need sophisticated accountants, lawyers, and mentors. Got it? So before I talk about the internet and how small business, especially beginning entrepreneurs, get in a lot of trouble out there, subscribe to my channel. Just hit that little notification button. I want you to get financially literate, because if you're going to run a company and you're going to have a business plan, you need to learn financial literacy. Right? It is the core of whether you're going to be successful or not. So Michael Gerber wrote it best in The E-Myth, where he wrote about the pie maker who quit because she made the best pies, but she couldn't run a company. Just because you're good at a thing doesn't mean you're a good entrepreneur. So when you come and work with us, I do an event where I teach you the basics of an entrepreneur are marketing, sales, and cash flow. If you can't do that, you're not going to take the next step to a business plan. So start with the basics, do something simple, learn to be a good entrepreneur. You already have your trade handled, but you don't know the entrepreneurial skills, and most people don't teach them. So I'm going to teach you those first, then we'll grow into that business plan. So make sure you subscribe. And if you have a team around you that you're going to convince or want to be on this team, share this channel. Let's get everybody listening in the same lane of a conversation that's integrated around business and finance. Now, the biggest mistake that I see is this lovely place called the bathroom wall. It's now become the internet. So the reason I call it the bathroom wall is anybody can write anything. They can stay scared and they can talk about you and do whatever they want. And there's no validation out there. Due diligence is critical. I work with different private investigation firms. I do background checks on my partner. They do background checks on me. We have full open transparency. It is critical. I don't know how many people, we just had a woman the other day. I have to just tell you this story because it's just shocking. It was around the same time that somebody scammed my Instagram, which, by the way, at Ask Loral is my Instagram. I know I probably shouldn't say that on this channel, but I just need to avoid, there's several people out on Instagram scamming me. So somebody went over there and it was the Millionaire Maker, but it was spelled wrong. And they then went on to find the Millionaire game show or something, again, trying to use my IP, but change it. Anyway, this woman called into our office and said, I'm going to sue you for $16,200. And it's like, very specific number, very odd. I'm like, first of all, you're not even in our database. We don't know who you are. We don't do any of those things. Yes, I have a game, but I don't have a game show. Well, what happened is they use it and they go through all this stuff, and the woman ends up doing some crypto Forex scam. She's out money. It's international. She wires money to them thinking it's me, and because they are watching here, my YouTube channel, and just, playing off of it. Do your due diligence. Make sure you're where you're supposed to be. The Millionaire Maker needs to be spelled right. Loral Langemeier needs to be spelled right. There's a lot of people scamming. You got to watch your own stuff. So we protect ours, I should say, with our life. Highly, you need to protect yours, but know where you're at out there. There's so many scams. People who say they'll do a business plan and you're going to get back some trinket they could have bought for $80 off LegalZoom.com. A business plan is not casually done. It's very thoughtfully done. It takes usually 4, 6, 8 hours minimum. And for a big sophisticated plan, it could take you as long as a month to do it right. So if you're interested in all this conversation, continue here. Stay on my channel. Every day, 10 to 15 minutes, I'm out here giving a new financial literacy lesson, and we're going to teach you how to be an entrepreneur, how to make decisions, how to avoid getting scammed and get successful really fast. Entrepreneurs should be making $100,000 their first year out. It's just because you don't know how to do it. It's not difficult, it's different. Here's what I want you to do right now. If you want to ask a question or make a request, I want you to go to askloral.com. And we will be sending out an application for those of you who are serious. Fill out a quick profile. I'm going to hand you over to one of our team members. They're going to go through it with you, see if we're a right fit. Love to work with you, love to help you make 6, 7, and even 8 figures. But you got to start with a business plan, eventually. Click on the link below. Let's begin.